All right, everybody, welcome in. This is Eagles Talk. I'm Rob Brinkman, Peter Young in the house, Bowen on the birds with Les Bowen. Coming in hot in just a few minutes. We have actual football to talk about. We're going to be talking everything that was on Thursday night's victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll look ahead to what's to come, who looks good, who looks bad. One guy who is, well, first off, let's take care of some business. We are brought to you each and every week by Baggio's Breads. Baggio Breads, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. Mention A2D Radio, 10% off your in-store purchase. As always, hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn those notifications on. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Also, we are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter X, Instagram. Like I said, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Don't miss any of the content throughout the sports season here on A2D Radio. But we're going to start with our poll question, which is always the most popular guy in town, especially this time of year. The backup quarterback, Tanner McKee, showed well in albeit a preseason game against the Cincinnati Bengals. But he is the center point of our show. He is the topic of our poll question. Tanner McKee would either start or compete for a starting job for at least 8 teams in the NFL right now. PY, 8's a lot. I don't know where I'm going with this, but what say you?
So there's a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFL. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL. Like when you say 8, like it sounds like a lot, but like, is it? Like you're telling me he couldn't start for the Giants today? Like there's so many bad teams like that you could look at him and be like, all right, cool. I think he could start. He could probably start for the Raiders. Like obviously they have Geno, but like he could compete there. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of teams here to where if you put him there, like he's an instant starter. Put him on the Saints right now and he's QB1. You know what I mean? Like put him on the Colts right now, he's QB1. Like I'm not even the biggest Tanner McKee guy. Like I think he's very good. And it's nice to see him develop, but I think people like go a little too crazy, especially with the backup quarterback in this town. I'm seeing people already be like, "Oh my God, look what he would be if he was starting over Hurts." Be like, we wouldn't be winning. We wouldn't be going to Super Bowls and stuff like that. Like the backup quarterback is nice. It's nice to have. It's good to have a competent backup. But as usual in Philadelphia, like we overreact to everything. Like on a bad team, Tanner McKee is probably could be a starter. Like on an elite team, like there's not like real winning teams where I would put him like as a starter or even competing for the job. So like 8 teams, yeah, there's a high possibility that like there's probably at minimum 8 teams that he could start for just or at least compete for just because out of like the teams that are competing for a Super Bowl, like anything's possible.
8's a lot.
I know, but
there's some bad
quarterbacks or incompetent quarterbacks in the NFL to where you could throw him in there and he's genuinely competing for that spot.
Compete is a very loose term. So just look a little bit. You can say he's competing in the Giants, but no, he's not going to start over a guy who's been to Super Bowls and playoff wins, who still clearly has like over Russell Wilson. That's ridiculous to me to put the Giants on that list. He would legitimately compete for a starting position on the Browns.
Yes.
The Colts.
Yes.
The Raiders, who you touched on, which I agree with.
Saints.
I think Caleb Williams stinks, so maybe he wouldn't start.
No. I would take Caleb Williams over him right now.
The Vikings, I think he would legitimately compete to start. I don't know what J.J. McCarthy is. I have no idea. He missed his whole rookie season with a knee injury. Yeah, I think he'd 1,000% start for the Saints right now.
Yes.
And then there's nobody in the West. So I think that's what 5 or 6 I just named. Look, he performed well in a preseason game. Good for him. He's putting himself on the map. Maybe someone will pay him when his rookie contract's up. Here in Philadelphia, maybe they'll orchestrate some type of highway heist trade like Howie likes to do, especially.
Could start in Seattle.
Fair. I'm not a
Atlanta. We don't really know what Michael Penix is.
True.
Drake May is okay. There is a chance that
he's going to get a shot though. So
he is, but like I think you could genuinely compete in New England just because you don't exactly 100% know what he is.
But I mean, call me when
Pittsburgh. You got 80
that's
billion.
A good one. Put Pittsburgh. I'll put Pittsburgh on that list. That's a good pull by you. I'll put Pittsburgh on that list because you don't know what's going on post Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers pretty much already said that this is his last season. It's going to be one and done there with the Steelers. So we'll see what transpires. Maybe Howie can pull off some Jets. Heist. Yeah, I said the Jets. Didn't I say the Jets?
No.
I think I said the Jets. So maybe there is 8. Let's the Jets.
Yep.
I'm not the Browns.
Yep. 2.
The Colts.
3.
The Raiders.
4.
Seattle. The Vikings.
Sure. 5.
The Saints.
6.
And I'll give you Seattle.
Yeah.
That's 7. So we're not quite at 8, even though there is bad quarterback play throughout the NFL. But I mean, if he wants to come in like a legitimate spot in like a week 5, week 6, week 7 game, if Jalen Hurts, God forbid, can't go and plays well, I think there's a lot more merit to this argument. But I mean, that 8's a quarter of the league. That's excessive.
The bottom quarter.
The bottom quarter. All right, let's bring in Les Bowen. Let's see what he has to say. Welcome in, Les. This is Bowen on the Birds. Welcome in to Eagles Talk here on A2D Radio.
Hey, fellas. PY has ditched the beard again.
He's looking dapper. He's looking dapper.
I'm going ZZ Top with mine. I'm growing it out.
Good.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's getting to be that time. Fall time is beard time. I can't do it. I can't do it too excessive in the summer. It's too hot. And apparently it's going to get hot again this week. Yeah. So, Les, we're talking Eagles Bengals. We're talking Eagles preseason. We're talking Eagles training camp. Obviously, this time of year, the backup quarterback is the most popular guy in town. Tanner McKee played well yet again. How good is he, Les? Can he start or compete for at least 8 teams? We just came up with 7.
Yeah.
And some of them were a stretch. So I don't know if he can start or compete for a starting job for a quarter of the NFL team.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I love what he's done. That game the other night, it was a preseason game, of course. It was a preseason opener against a team with even its starters are bad defensively. But I did a little thing for PHLY where I went through all the Eagles preseason passing performances since 2000. And I couldn't find one as good as that with that many, like Sam Bradford once went 11 for 11 with 3 touchdowns. Well, that's, 11. 11 isn't 25. I honestly, it's the best preseason Eagles passing performance I've ever seen. What does that mean? I have no idea. My thing with Tanner McKee, I'd love to see him. Rob mentioned, the possibility that if Hurts was banged up in a game in the middle of the season, that we could see Tanner McKee. And I'd love to see that because we really haven't. I mean, people say, "Oh, you saw him in the regular season. You saw him in that finale against the Giants." Well,
yeah.
Meaningless game.
The game was atrocious.
Good for him that he played well, but that doesn't really move the needle a lot for me. I just haven't seen enough yet to make a judgment like that. I'm really intrigued, and I would set a very high value on him if I were going to trade him. But I just don't know yet. it's really interesting. I went back and looked at the scouting reports when he came out of Stanford, and they weren't, obviously he's a 6th-round pick, so the scouting reports weren't glowing. But it didn't sound like the guy that we've seen. They talked about ball placement and decision making, which have seemed very good to me. They talked about his feet. He's not a guy who's going to scramble around. I kind of came away thinking how much of the scouting reports were really about him and how much were they about what's happened to Stanford's program, in recent years. This is not the Stanford program that developed John Elway by a long shot. And I just wondered, if people got a real solid take on him coming out of college, because he has looked very good, in every instance really that he's been in the, what is this, his 3rd preseason and the 1 regular season game. But to say that he can start for this team or that team right now, no, I can't say that. I don't know. It would be intriguing to see it. It really would. And I wouldn't say that he definitely couldn't, but I just haven't seen enough to say that he could do that.
Some comments here. Joshua Lyons, he rattled off some teams: the Raiders, the Saints, the Colts, the Giants.
You can do that all you want, but we just don't know. We haven't seen enough of this guy to know that. Like saying he's better than Michael Penix. Well, I think Michael Penix is going to be really good, but Michael Penix hasn't done anything either. So you can say that all you want. Who knows? Nobody knows.
He also throws out the Falcons and the Vikings.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's why,
it's possible.
Compete is the word that brings all these teams in. Yeah, you can compete in a lot of places.
Yeah, and it's remarkable. That game Thursday night, usually preseason offense doesn't look like that, right? Don't you guys agree with me on that? Usually there's people running into each other and false starts, and it was very clinical. It was really it went real smoothly. And
it did.
Whether that's the Bengals being really awful or what it is, I don't know. All of his receivers looked good. I was impressed, but it was a preseason game.
And imagine that the Eagles were able to execute a tush-push with a backup offensive line and a backup quarterback. And it wasn't cheating. And funny how that works. Yeah. Shows me that there is an institutional goal to making that play a success and making that play a part of their culture. And the Eagles work really hard at it, and they should not be penalized by having their golden play taken away.
Nope.
Agree. Strongly agree.
Do you imagine, in 2005, if they tried to tell Peyton Manning, look, man, you can't audible anymore.
Yeah, you can't go waving your arms around the line of scrimmage and walking around.
You can't do that. No one can stop it. Yeah. It's not fair. You're smarter than everyone.
Good point. Yeah.
Nobody said Mike, shit when Brady was doing it at a 90% clip for a decade and a half.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Brady is a tall, handsome white man.
Yes, he is.
Jalen Hurts isn't. And that's
I
part of the problem. I think.
Tend to wonder if Josh Allen became the face of the tush push, if we'd have a problem. Probably not.
It's a shame. It's a shame to say stuff like that, but I think it's true.
Which is the funniest part about that is the Bills were the number 1 team in the NFL last year to attempt the tush push.
They did more than the Eagles?
Yes.
I'm sure they were successful at it until they absolutely had to be, and then they stunk like the Buffalo.
Then they were bad at it.
Yeah, well, I think he was 0 for 4 or something in the playoffs.
Yeah, disastrously so.
Yes.
In big moments, yes.
Can I say something that makes me laugh? Is that nobody cares about rule changes until Josh Allen does something bad, and then we have to change everything in football.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no overtime rules. Wait, Josh Allen didn't get his turn? no, we need to change some things. Wait. Josh Allen's going 0-3, 0-4 with a tush push. Maybe we need to get rid of that. That's just not fair.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Joshua Lyons. Also, I'm not saying he will go in and 100% be a starter right away. I'm saying go in and compete. But yes, I only named Pittsburgh because if Rodgers goes down, he could compete. Well, if any of these quarterbacks go down, then Tanner McKee is going to look pretty good in their uniform.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why the Eagles will keep him, because their quarterback might go down and they might need him.
Yeah, I don't envision Howie Roseman trading him.
Right.
I think if you got
the value of the backup quarterback here.
I think if you got a first round pick, he's out. Because
you're not getting
him
a first round pick for Tanner McKee at this point. I don't see that happening, and I don't see him being traded.
I could see the Colts being desperate enough because Shane Steichen's trying to save his job. He's not trying to be fired. I could see them pushing the front office, be like, "Oh, he's a diamond in the rough. I can fix him."
I don't know, a first-time head coach that hasn't really won many games. I don't think he's got that kind of stroke.
Yeah, I don't think anybody outside of Philadelphia really has that good a handle on Tanner McKee, to think that he's all that. I mean, I think people are noticing what he's doing, but really buying into it. I mean, the only guy would be the guy in New Orleans who was his coach last year. That would make some sense to me if he decided he had to have Tanner McKee, but I doubt that happens, really. I do.
I mean, their quarterback right now is Spencer freaking Rattler. So.
Oh, I know.
I would give up a first. If I was New Orleans, I would give up a first round pick right now. Oh, because who's your quarterback heading into next year? Like what quarterbacks are going to be available? Because it's not going to be Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Moving on, we're getting some touching on some other topics from the football game, Eagles preseason, and which we will certainly get into all of it. All right, so who will be the Eagles' full-time return man? Williams, please don't allow DeJean.
Yeah.
Yes, anyone not named Cooper DeJean is good in my book.
Wait. Why? He's the best one on the team.
I don't care.
He might get hurt. I understand that. If you really need him to do it, sure. No. But if you don't, it's like when Deshaun Jackson later in his career, you just pull that out for emergencies. Find somebody else who's really good at it. I'm with you on that, Pete.
I couldn't disagree with you.
He's too good. I'm sorry. He's too good at his position for me to care if he gets like an extra 5 or 10 yards more than the other guy. Like, whatever. I don't care. Stay exactly where, because I'm going to use him more this year than I was last year. He's going to be all over the field. He's going to be like Malcolm Jenkins this year. That's literally what they're going to be using him as. I don't give a shit about him returning punts or whatever. No, thank you. There's other guys on the roster I could do that with.
Are there though?
Yes, there are.
Who?
I'm okay with Avery Williams doing that.
If he makes the team.
Yeah, he'll probably make the team literally just for that.
That's a waste of a roster spot.
Just for that.
Darius Cooper can do it. Whatever. Who cares? Like,
I do like Darius. That's an interesting pull. I do like Darius Cooper. I mean,
I like him a lot.
Anaya Smith can do it. Like, there's a variety of different guys who can play. And
I mean, we did our Les, you weren't with us, and obviously Chucks isn't with us last week. Happy anniversary to Chucks and his main squeeze out there celebrating his anniversary. Maybe he'll check in the chat. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But we did our early 53-man projections, and I kind of had the basic Anaya Smith, Johnny Wilson duo as the 4th and 5th wide receivers. But Darius Cooper, I think he's going to make. I think he's going to make Anaya Smith sweat and earn this spot.
I don't know. Anaya Smith looked good last week.
Yeah, he did. Everybody looked good. On the offense anyway. But
yes,
with Darius Cooper, I don't get how a guy like that, with the transfer portal being what it is these days, how a guy like that spends his whole career at Tarleton State. I mean, he's got size. He's fast. What in the world? Why wasn't he at a bigger school by the time he finished his career? I'm really puzzled by it. Guy looks tremendous to me.
We got to get you some one more day of press credentials there, Les, and you got to go figure it out.
Them. Yeah,
get on the beat.
Yes.
Okay, let's touch on this one before we get to stuff that Landon Dickerson carted off the field on the Sunday night open practice benefiting autism awareness. Came out this afternoon, I suppose.
Yes, late this afternoon.
That he's going to be eyeing the opener. No season-ending injury for Landon Dickerson, which is a big sigh of relief because Landon Dickerson is really good. You have him and Jordan Mailata on the left side of that offensive line, which is just completely dominant. And honestly, if he was out for a while, I'd be super concerned because you have some young guys that look good on Thursday night, but they're not Landon Dickerson. Right. And you already decided not to pay Mekhi Becton.
Yes.
So going in with two new guards, that would be rough. But
yeah, it would. I kind of still think that they'll probably have like Matt Pryor or somebody at left guard for the opener. They're going to trim the meniscus, and I kind of think the opener is a little optimistic for that. Maybe, they have a long week before week 2, and that might be it might be more, more reasonable to think of that. But it might even be past that. I mean, it's good news, certainly, that he's not having ACL surgery, that he's not out for the season, but I think they're being pretty optimistic with this. He'll try to be ready for the opener. I kind of think that's unlikely. Dude's had a lot of knee injuries in his career, and I sure hope he bounces back from this. You get to a point with those knee injuries sometimes where they've taken out a lot of meniscus and they've cartilage and things, and suddenly you're not the same guy, So I hope that's not the case, obviously. I hope he'll be really, ready early in the season to be the guy that he was. But man, you see this all around the league right now. Guys are going down. It happens every year. It's part of the game. And that's a big part of trying to get back to the Super Bowl is avoiding this sort of thing, catastrophically. You played 21 games last season, including the Super Bowl, and you played more than a month longer than the teams that didn't make the playoffs. And, wear and tear. Wear and tear is a big consideration. You'll hear a lot about it, I think, this season with the Eagles.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who takes the first team reps and maybe even the second team reps too, between guys like Darian Kennard, Cameron Williams, Miles Hinton, Drew Kendall. Opens the door for not all of us had Kenyon Green on our 53-man roster last week.
No,
I did.
I mean, he showed nothing. I'm sorry. That's, I don't know the guy. I don't wish him ill, but, we've seen nothing. There's been no reports from the reporters at practice every day that he's doing anything. He didn't look good in the preseason game. I don't hold a lot of hope for Kenyon Green, but those other names you mentioned, they've all, shown stuff here and there. So, and you didn't mention Matt Pryor, who I think is the guy that's probably played the most snaps, who would be my guy that I would, not because I think he's a great player, but just because he's played a lot of snaps for Jeff Stoutland. And I think that tends to work in his favor.
That's going to leave a sour taste in my mouth.
Matt Pryor?
When Kenyon Green gets cut. Because
really?
you're trading CJ Gardner-Johnson away for a guy who's not even gonna make the team. And safety is still a question mark here. Now the guys look good on Thursday. I didn't have any real problem with the safety play on Thursday night. I thought it was
down for a while now, not for the season, but he's down for a while, I think. He got hurt for Houston.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Not the point, but
yeah, I know.
If we were so worried about him not being here, he'd be here.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of
means.
CJ. I think there must be something there in his locker room presence and his relationship with his teammates and his coaches that makes them less than enthusiastic about him.
He can't stay anywhere.
Right. He's always
he's great.
team.
He's a great guy. We all talk about, he's a locker room guy. Everyone loves him. Yeah, until the season's over, he's mouthing off on the podcast, talking about his teammates, and then the rah-rah locker room guy is, why can't this guy be quiet? Why can't
he goes to a lot of different places, doesn't he?
Yes.
For a good player. I don't know that I've seen anything quite like it.
The Lions went to the NFC Championship game with him as their safety, and they're like, no, we don't want him back. We're good.
Yeah.
And then they let him go, and they couldn't stop a nosebleed, especially up the middle.
Yeah, that also 90% of their defense tore their ACL, so that has something to do with it.
Okay.
But it's true. You're both right. I mean, he's a very good player, but for some reason, nobody wants him around.
Yeah. We'll probably be on a new team next year, too.
John Malmos, who steps in for Dickerson while he's out. I think
Pryor.
It's probably going to be Pryor, but I thought Miles Hinton looked pretty good on Thursday night. I'm not really an X and O offensive line guy. We would need a guy like Brian Baldinger, Lewis Riddick to come in and do that for me. That's just not my forte. But
you mentioned Kendall, you mentioned Kennard. Those are possibilities too. Those are guys that the Eagles like, but nobody's Dickerson. The one thing I did wince about today when people were kind of clutching their pearls over this, a lot of people on social media were, Stoutland will take care of, Stoutland will coach up.
I love that.
Stoutland's good, but one of the reasons he's good is that they get him really good talent to work with.
Well, let's just trade Jordan Mailata for a corner. Then.
Right. Yeah.
If we can just put anybody in there.
Second-round pick who would have been maybe a first-round pick had he not been hurt a lot in college.
Yes.
You're not going to just throw somebody in there off the street and because Jeff Stoutland's the coach, everything's going to be great. No, it doesn't work like that.
Maybe Jeff Stoutland
would be great if it did, but
maybe he can coach himself to play left guard less.
And Stout's had a lot of
great.
Not everybody Stout touches turns to gold. Stout wanted them to bring in Chance Warmack, who had been a first-round pick, who'd played for Stout at Alabama. Chance Warmack came here, and he was still Chance Warmack.
Yes.
He's a very good coach. He has good principles and good concepts, but talent is talent.
Now, Jacorian Bennett did not play against, at least not with the starters, against the Cincinnati Bengals, but
Keely Ringo game of anybody who didn't play.
He did.
Imagine your stock going up by not playing.
By not playing at all. Here, we'll start off this chain of events with Mr. Jay Koch. He checks in a lot. We certainly appreciate that. Been telling you for months that Keely Ringo is garbage juice in the trash truck.
How about we give him a little bit more time? Like it's one preseason game. Look, obviously Bennett could end up being the starter, but I'm not going to overreact to one preseason game. Obviously, if we're a week before the season starts and he's still playing like this in the preseason, that's reasons to worry. If he's getting mossed up every other day against the Browns in intramural practices, that's a reason to be concerned.
Now, I would have liked to have seen either Keely Ringo or Adoree Jackson at least show me something against a Cincinnati Bengals team that decided for whatever reason to play their starters. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, Joe Burrow. I believe a majority of their offensive line was out there for pretty much the first quarter. I would like to see one of those guys pop, but they didn't. I would have liked to seen Uche or Ajalari or Alex Hunt. I would have
That's
liked
an
to have seen
underrated
them
concern
pop a
right
little
there,
bit.
Rob. That edge rush, a lot of weight on the shoulders of Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith right now. But you're exactly right. And talking about Ringo, they've always liked Ringo, and I have to say I've never quite seen it. I see the ability, but I see a guy who takes a lot of penalties, who takes the wrong route, he takes the wrong angles a lot. Those are hard things to teach, I think sometimes. I don't know. I'm with PY, give him more of a chance, but I was not on board with – I would have brought back Isaiah Rodgers myself.
I mean, I think that was
Wouldn't
their
have been that
plan.
expensive. I would like to have a veteran corner opposite Quinyon Mitchell, who's a wonderful player, but is second year. Keely Ringo played I think 11% of their snaps last season. It's there for Mr. Jacorian if he wants to, if he's capable of stepping up. The job's there.
And I think you kind of got what you got. I mean, you made your trade to try and bolster the room.
Yeah.
I don't really envision anything else coming through the door.
Right.
Maybe an edge rusher comes through the door. Maybe Justin Simmons comes through the door. Yeah. I'm not sure. But as far as corner and the QB cornerback 2 position, I really hope one of these guys steps up and takes the job, because I want to keep Cooper DeJean in the safety nickel role.
Yes.
Because he was really good at that as a rookie, and I don't.
Maybe it's Ricks. I don't know. Maybe he's the guy. But
I laughed so hard.
Get to some more of these comments. Are Simmons or Baker available to bring in at safety? Hey, Simmons is a free agent.
Yes.
I'm assuming that Baker is Buda Baker, who is at the center of trade rumors for the Philadelphia Eagles. It feels like for the past 5 years.
He's the new Brian Urlacher. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the Brian Urlacher days. There was a whole decade there when the Eagles were going to trade for Brian Urlacher any minute. I don't know about Buda Baker, but certainly Simmons is sitting there, and every time
I think Simmons is here by the last week of August. That's
maybe. Could be, quite possible.
What's going on with Trevor Keegan?
Nothing.
Looks like a pretty good prospect, but
he's a guy.
Why? What does John think should be going on with Trevor Keegan?
I don't know. Maybe he steps in for
he's a Michigan guy who puts war paint on. Yeah.
Veteran and Ryan Swoop, a veteran besides Blankenship.
Nice. Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I did like the aspect of really some of the Eagles' second string guys going up against the Bengals, one of the best offenses in the league, the Cincinnati Bengals. Trial by fire. Let's see what you got. And unfortunately for the edge rush room and the cornerback room, there's some work to do. But I think it's very premature to just all out panic about either of those position groups.
Vic Fangio liked Andre Sam in that game, I think, and I kind of did too. I haven't seen enough of Andre Sam to have a hard opinion about that.
But. I mean, he also has a hard on for Tristan McCollum too, so.
Yeah, he likes Tristan McCollum. That's a good point.
Why? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think he likes him. I don't know. He played 250 defensive snaps last year, Tristan McCollum.
Yeah.
So whether he's
now, that's the guy whose brother plays for the Bucks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Yes. But I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, any other takeaways from the Cincinnati Bengals game?
Well, I liked the running backs. I liked Shipley, and I liked Dillon. I thought Dillon looked really fresh. I hope he can keep that up. People have been very skeptical of his
certain people
ability to contribute, but
specifically
hey,
on this show.
he made a jump cut that was very, very nice. And, if that holds up, good for him. Because I don't think you're going to get 2,000 yards out of Saquon Barkley this year, one way or another. Minor injury, major injury, teams loading up the box to stop him, putting spies on him or something. I just don't see that happening again. It hasn't happened again for any other running back in the history of the NFL.
Didn't Terrell
the year
Davis
after
be back-to-back?
2,000 yards back-to-back. Who has?
Terrell Davis, right?
Terrell Davis, really? 2,000 back-to-back.
Did he do it?
Maybe. If he did, it's escaped my notice, but it was a while ago, I would have to say. Certainly this century, I don't think anybody's done that. And, I just don't think it's likely. I think they're going to need more from Shipley and Dillon than they needed from Kenny
He did
Gainwell.
not. I was wrong. He did 2008 and 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And he did only 1750.
Well, that's pretty. If Barkley does that, I'll be
all
good.
right. If Barkley gets to 1750, I'm having a field day. Fantastic,
Absolutely.
great year.
He went
But,
15.
I expect it to be a little bit like the Super Bowl, where the Chiefs made the whole focus of everything stopping Saquon, and they sort of did, but it didn't matter, And I kind of think that's the sort of thing we're looking. I think we're going to see an offense that's going to be a little more A.J. Brown, a little more Devontae Smith, maybe a little more Dallas Goedert this year.
A bit more Jahan Dotson.
That could be, or Darius Cooper. Who knows?
I do think Jahan Dotson is going to play a much bigger role than he did last year.
I also think Hurts
he made the pilgrimage to work out with Hurts, which was really the whole problem. He came in so late last year. Hurts didn't trust him. Hurts wouldn't throw him the ball. I think they've worked things out now, and I think Hurts has confidence in him. And I'll be shocked if he doesn't get more work.
You throw two big balls his way in the Super Bowl, you get trust.
Yeah.
So Terrell Davis, he went 345 carries. 369 carries, 392 carries in 96, 97, 98. Then in 1999, he tore his ACL.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's a little bit of a different era, Rob, but yeah, that is impressive. I just don't see it. I think teams will be all over that this year with all kinds of funky ways to try to stop it. So, but what do I know? Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't foresee him having the kind of impact he had when he came here. So, don't go by my word.
If I set the over-under at 1,500 yards rushing for Saquon Barkley this year, are you guys taking the over or the under?
What was the number? I'm sorry.
1,500.
1,500? I'd say over. But I also wouldn't be too upset because that's a good year.
Yeah. I think right around there is a good number.
John Malmo's checking in on the chat again, and he's excited to watch Ty Robinson play.
Yeah. He's certainly
the vanilla gorilla.
They wouldn't have traded away Booker if they didn't like Ty Robinson.
Yes.
So
I also think Jomo and Hunt are just gonna go ballistic this season.
I hope you're right. What did you guys make of the fact that Trotter Jr. played so many snaps in the preseason opener? I mean, he's not really a starter, really, but he's a guy that's going to play a lot for them. Does Fangio just not think he has played enough to? I was surprised he was out there as long as.
Obviously, you don't really have any other options at linebacker right now because obviously you have Campbell, but Zach Bond's not playing.
Campbell was on a pitch count, so that is that. Yeah. Maybe it was just a matter of you had to throw him out there.
You had to throw some people out.
Got to play someone.
Yeah.
But, and Malmos, he says over. So we talked about they're going to play the Browns Saturday afternoon, 1:00. I think that's the Fox slot, so it'll be on national TV. What are we looking for in this Browns game? We saw some good things offensively, some not so good things.
Maybe some better secondary play. That'd be
better corner play. Yeah.
will the legend of Shedeur Sanders continue against?
Can I just
Rangers
laugh
of the
about
world?
that? Because everyone keeps talking about, oh my God, look, he's showing everyone why he should have been drafted and this
There
and
were
that.
people on social media demanding apologies from those who had doubted Shedeur Sanders after his preseason debut.
Who is the Browns quarterback who was like 28 when he got drafted? Like the old guy?
Whedon.
Yeah.
Brandon Whedon? Was that his name?
There was another one. I can't remember this guy's name.
Whedon was the guy who played minor league baseball for several years.
He was like a late first round pick. And
yeah.
The hell is this? Pretty boy. I just gonna drive me crazy.
Oh, okay.
I think he should have went higher than the 5th round.
Probably.
Sure. But like,
I don't have anything against him. I hope he plays well, but the overreaction, there's been that across the league. Overreactions to the first week of the preseason are at an all-time.
I don't even know. Did he start? Did Shedeur start?
No. Yeah.
I don't know. But
did he?
So they updated their draft.
Yeah.
So Schefter talked about it earlier. So they put out their depth chart right now. Guess where Mr. Preseason Highlights is?
I don't know. I know he was
QB4.
fourth for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous as well. I mean, Dylan Gabriel is not as good as Shedeur Sanders. That's ridiculous. I would start him if I was the Browns. I would start.
I would.
What do you?
It'll be interesting to see him play. Certainly, I want to see him play, and and I want to see the Eagles corners play.
Yes.
Do you think that this is a more fair game to evaluate some of these young guys on defense because you're not playing Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase? Jamar Chase is unreal, by the way.
Yeah, he is. However, Jamar Chase is unreal, but people who were taking up for Keely Ringo on that little out where oh my God, Ringo gave him the cushion, which is fine, and then thought Chase was going to go to the sideline. It was just totally uninstinctual. It was bad, but yeah, it is Jamar Chase, and you do have to factor that in.
You're referencing the play where Jamar Chase caught it and ran a bunch of yards for the touchdown, correct?
Yeah,
that was not what you want to see. But Adoree Jackson didn't do anything. I would assume Jacorian Bennett.
No, he didn't.
I would assume Jacorian Bennett is going to play against the Browns.
Yeah, I want to see that. Obviously, I want to see that. See how that goes.
I mean, I think the trade went through, unless you weren't with us, but I think the trade happened. Rappaport or Schefter announced it about 10 minutes before we started. So we had to shift everything around and talk about Jacorian Bennett. And I was skeptical of him being a starter, but after what I saw in the first preseason game, again, it's only one preseason game, the job is his for the taking.
Yeah, he's certainly not a guy that's, it's not like he was in the Pro Bowl last year or anything, but he started some games for the Raiders, and there were people out there who thought he was really good and that he just didn't fit into what Pete Carroll wanted to do, that he's more of a zone coverage guy. The Eagles play a lot of zone. So, we'll see. He came in, what he said the other day when reporters talked to him was it yesterday? Time runs together for me. He said all the right things. He wants to be here. He wants to be a starter. So, we'll see.
Les, anything else? Closing thoughts before we let you go here?
Just what do I have any closing thoughts? Yeah, I liked Kevin Patullo. I thought that was a nice. They don't want to give anything away in the preseason, but I thought the offense was an error-free operation for the most part, and regardless of who was out there were some run plays where the line wasn't great, but I didn't see a lot of bad penalties. I didn't see a lot of confusion. I'm optimistic about old Kevin going into this. We'll see how the rest of the preseason goes, but I liked it.
It's a good point. We hadn't touched on that. Well, Les, that was Bowen on the Birds. Les, we will touch base with you next week. Thank you for joining us, as always.
I can't wait to see if PY grows the beard back by next week. So
I don't think it'll be back by then, but thank you, Les.
Mine will probably be back by next week.
It could be.
Mine grows quick. I don't know what PY's beard
It takes its
growth
time.
rate is. But mine is one of the best in the league. So it'll be back really soon.
Good to know. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Take
All
care.
right,
Bye,
Les.
Les.
Have a good night. Thank you for joining us as well. That was Les Bowen on the Birds. So PY, we had a clean, tight preseason. Yeah, I thought those were really good points by Les about Kevin Patullo.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything stupid. Like, there weren't that many penalties. Like, it was a very clean offensive game. And I mentioned that the tush push works even with a backup offensive line and a backup quarterback. Uh-oh. Oh, bless you.
Thank you. And they didn't try and reinvent the wheel. It was just like, go with what works, which I'm excited. I'm interested to see how things work with the Patullo as play caller. Like, literally, can you just be similar to Brian Johnson, but like, don't take the ball away from Saquon at the goal line and don't have someone who's slow as dirt do screen passes. There we go.
Yeah. I just want to erase everything Brian Johnson related from my memory. That guy sucked.
We could just not do those two things. I think we'll be okay.
I also think it'll be interesting to see if we get any of the ones on the offensive side of the ball. No, you don't think?
Here's what they view as important. The preseason, garbage. The preseason is meaningless to them. What they value are these practices, these one-on-ones. That's what's important to them. How they look in practice against these guys, against the Browns in practice, those are their preseason game. That's their preseason game with the starters. Like, I kept hearing all week, oh my God, see, Patrick Mahomes is playing in the preseason. Patrick Mahomes played 48 seconds worth of preseason football. Are you telling me with a straight face that is enough time to be ready for the season?
For Patrick Mahomes, it probably is.
But like in general, like, what does that do? Like, if I'm putting Jalen Hurts out there, I'll put him out there for 3 plays. Deep shot and 2 handoffs to Saquon. If nothing else happens with that, we're good.
I don't want the one's first game action to be week 1 against Dallas.
Well,
that's all I'll say.
I hate to tell you, that's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be. I get it. That's not how I would do it. I understand why they didn't play in the first game. I'll even understand why they don't play in the second game against the Browns. But they have a game on Friday night, August 22nd, up in New York. I would like to see some starters in that football game.
Yeah, you're not going to see any starters.
I know I'm not going to. I would like to.
That's your Jets game, essentially, where nobody and their mother who will ever sniff at the NFL field will be playing.
I don't even know. Do they still do 4 preseason games, or do they do 3?
3.
They only do 3 now?
I believe so.
So that's what we got. We got 3 AFC teams that obviously we don't play in the regular season that are all geographically appropriate.
Basically. But yeah, like that's all you have to focus on. Focus on like whatever they're doing in practice against the Browns, because that's what counts. Like that's what they view. That's what they care about. Because you could
doing practice with the Bengals or no?
No, Browns.
They're doing one with the. I know they're doing one with the Browns. I didn't know if they did one with the Bengals. But yeah, that seems to be how they're. Because
you can just judge more. Like they can judge that more than they would like a meaningless preseason games where Hurts plays like 6 snaps.
But like the Bengals, they played their ones because they're 1-11 in September under Zach Taylor. So they're doing something different.
Also, they're shit. Like their defense is atrocious, and they want to. They think if they get Burrow right because he's not good in September. Like he's a slow starter, and they think, oh, he's playing in the preseason. We're getting him ready to go.
Are you buying the strategy there in Cincinnati that it'll help them win more games in September if they get more continuity in the preseason?
Burrow, he's up and down when it comes to staying on the field. Like there's sometimes where he's injury prone. There's sometimes where you can count on him to stay for a whole season. So like you can prepare as much as you want for September. If he gets like an injury where he's out for 6 weeks, it doesn't really matter. And like the main thing is going to be that defense. You're going to determine whether or not, they make the playoffs. If a lot of their defensive pieces are non-existent right now. And if they miss the playoffs, he's going to get none of the criticism because, his defense is that atrocious.
I mean, do you think it's Joe? Did you think it was Joe Burrow's fault last year? They didn't make the playoffs.
I'm not saying that it's not Joe Burrow's fault, but if it was Jalen Hurts and Jalen Hurts didn't make the playoffs for 2 straight years,
right?
There's no way in any way, shape, or form we would be as okay with it as they are down in Cincinnati. There would be discussions of heads rolling. If they miss the playoffs for 3 straight years, I don't care if it's Burrow's fault or not Burrow's fault. He's got to get some blame. You can't be an elite quarterback and get 0 blame. Be like, well, it's just the defense's fault.
Well, I'm going to save my opinion on the Cincinnati Bengals and the playoff picture around the league. PY, we are September 2nd. We are going to be on the season debut of Film Don't Lie to do our NFL predictions. So stay tuned on the dial for that. We're recording it on September 2nd, I should say.
Sounds good.
I don't know when it will air, but I mean, look out for that. We'll talk about the big picture, where the Eagles fit in to the landscape of the NFL. I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but I think that they're going to be playing deep into January and possibly February again.
Are you sure? I don't know.
I bet my Bears tickets on it. I would bet my Bears tickets on it. A few comments. When you have a good team, the only thing that can happen is bad injury. Let's see, have one preseason game. Let's have one preseason game and the practices. And then Chrome is in the house. And Greg Lay trashing the Cincinnati Bengals defense, which I don't know. They got a new coach. Guess I'm kind of tipping my hand on what I think of the Bengals this year. Closing thoughts, PY, before we get out of here.
Let's see a little bit more from the defense versus the Browns, please. Jacorian Bennett, please show me something.
How about an edge rusher? How about an edge rusher steps up? That's not Nolan Smith, who probably won't be active. How about it? Let's get after Shedeur Sanders and Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett a little bit in the next preseason game. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Eagles Talk. For PY, I'm Rob Brinkman. Thank you to Les Bowen for coming on. Chucks will be back next week. Until then, peace out, everybody.
Peace.